I can't remember her in the Fast and the Furious series because it says that she's in two of them, and I've seen all the Fast and the
Yes.
Furious, but I can't remember her.
Tokyo Drift obviously might have a bearing on that.
No,
Racist.
Definitely
wasn't she
Egypt.
wasn't on that? You racist. Welcome to the Bloodlab, ladies and gents. I am Al, joined by my brothers Marcus, Rick, and Sean. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Can't call it.
Yes.
Can't call it. Lots of
Evening,
fun.
everybody.
Well, to jump right into it, I guess today we're going to be talking about a little bit about what's going on in Haiti. Then we'll chalk it up with a little bit of Shogun.
As we mentioned a few minutes ago, Haiti is on a brink of becoming a failed state. A gangland rebellion is ripping through the republic. The prime minister has announced he will step down once a transitional presidential council is in place. But will the gang leaders at the heart of the fighting reject that plan, continuing to put Haitians at the center of the crisis? The human toll, hunger, violence, and unrest has been unthinkable. Our Matt Rivers, who's been reporting on conditions there now for years, takes us back to Haiti to see that toll firsthand.
Haiti is collapsing. The country has been ravaged by 2 weeks of chaos, of bloodshed, of intense fighting and horrific human suffering with no obvious way out. Port-au-Prince is no stranger to gang violence, but an unholy alliance has emerged between the most powerful armed groups, now unified behind this man, Jimmy Chercier, a.k.a. Barbecue.
Première étape dans la bataille, nous c'est retirer Ariel Henry sous pouvoir. Ensuite, pour nous déclencher bataille réelle contre le pouvoir et pour nous déclencher bataille réelle contre le système qui est là, système oligarque corrompu, politicien traditionnel corrompu.
And that first step, now done. The unelected Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, resigned on Monday after agreeing to a transitional government. Henry now out after weeks of horrific violence led by Barbecue, Haiti's most notorious gang leader. He and his soldiers have launched massive coordinated assaults around Port-au-Prince for nearly 2 weeks. Dozens of police stations, many destroyed. Gang members even showing off stolen body armor. Constant assaults at the airport forced it to shut down too.
Avec manchette et nous-mêmes et je dis à nous des armes nous n'a gommé pour nous libérer pays.
But the people he says he's trying to free, ordinary Haitians, are being decimated by the fighting. The violence has paralyzed Port-au-Prince, a hellscape now cut off from the outside world. Hospitals around the city show the human toll. In this major hospital, no doctors or nurses can even make it to work to help the patients. Gangs have barricaded off entire sections.
Well, yeah. So I'll first start off by saying Haiti has the United States to thank for what's going on there right now. Generally don't like to do politics here, so I'll try not to dive too deep into it.
You're right, though.
The U.S. has done everything to destabilize that country, along with the U.K. I mean, the jewels that the Queen was rocking came from Africa, Haiti, etc., etc. Haiti has a particular mineral, I believe it's called iridium, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that they're trying to mine because Haiti has no stable government, no army, no cops. Who's to stop anyone from coming? I mean, literally, the United States went in there and assassinated the president. The U.S. did. It isn't the first time that they've done something like that.
Absolutely not.
It isn't the first time that they've done so.
No, I mean, that's what the CIA is there for. Regime change. And they've said it time and time again. That's the going to get their hands dirty, and that way the government has no accountability.
And folks, and people like the U.S., Russia, the U.K., those major nations, they're always going to win because there's no one to back up these black countries. Africa isn't united.
I mean, I don't want to cut you off,
Therefore,
but Al, let's be honest. It's not really a color thing. Like they do it to white countries too. You know what I mean? Like all over the place. It's really more of a power. They don't have.
well, if you
Haiti doesn't
put it
have the
this way,
power to fight this.
if put it this way, I'll put it like this: when COVID happened, everybody was blaming the Asians. Asian hate went up. Asians were getting beat down, hurt, fucked up, shot down, you name it. They went ahead and passed a law for that to make it a crime to do hateful things to Asians. Now, you're not gonna fuck with an Asian because they have the bagging of China. You're not gonna fuck with an Indian because they have the bagging of India. You're not gonna fuck with any of these nations because they have backup. Black people have no backup. None whatsoever.
What that's basically what I'm saying.
Because again, Africa isn't united. When Gaddafi was trying to unite Africa and make Africa one,
Oh, they cut that shit.
exactly. You saw how they painted him. You saw what they did to him. You saw how his life ended.
Oh, they do that all the time. Yeah, if somebody's trying to fight that fight, they're gonna get ostracized and hard.
A united Africa is stronger than any nation on this planet. Africa doesn't need anybody. Africa has everything they need there. Everybody else in the world needs Africa. We all have smartphones, do we not? The batteries that we use, they have 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds mining to make sure that we all have our iPhones here.
Thank God that's coming to an end, though. We're not going to be on lithium anymore after about 3 more years, Mr. Electrician.
We'll see.
Well, no, and just to not to take away anything from what Al's saying, because that is a absolute problem, and I see where you're coming from, but just to kind of go back to what Rick said, I get what he's saying too. I mean, they do it to everybody that they can, in the fact that on that side they just go after, it's divide and conquer, and they just kind of go after whoever they can, and those unfortunately weaker nations are usually their prey. But that being said, yeah, there is a real problem with, there is backing to those individuals that they've done, like you said, China backs, So yeah, it is unfortunate that there is no party that's going to be there in support of that actual culture. So that's the biggest problem that there is. But yeah, it does go on everywhere. So I get that. But yeah,
because they want what that country has. They want what that country has. And this country doesn't want a strong black populace in no way, shape, or form. The world doesn't want a strong black populace. They've gone out of their way to keep black nations down. Look how divided things are in Africa. I don't know if you guys ever, take a look.
Well, the tribes there, it might as well be 1400s America.
I've lived in Haiti 3 times. So I've witnessed violence like this firsthand. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, it's pretty expected over there. Like, honestly, from everything I've heard, I've never lived there, so I can't speak from experience, but from everything I've heard, it's to be expected there. It's like it's the day in the park. It's a way of life, and they expect that violence, and if they don't have it, it's a good day.
I'll never say that I know a ton about politics, and I won't say that I know much about Haiti's politics, but I will say this is what I remember as a 6-year-old going to Haiti for the first time. The country had electricity 24/7. The country had running water 24/7. Under the dictatorship of Baby Doc. Granted, he did a ton of disgusting things along with his father. What politician has? But when it came to the country was lit up. The entire country. I mean, to the smallest, filthiest little shack, they had electricity. They were able to get water. When the dictatorship fell, it went from having power every single day, running water every single day, to every other day, to once a week, to once a month, to you were even lucky if it came inside of 3 months. So you had to have a reservoir to store water. They were charging out the ass for water. I remember when the dictatorship fell, the very violent thing I saw was we had a guy that used to take care of our yard because our house was humongous. We had trees galore. I mean, it was just acres and acres of just fucking forest and fruit trees and vegetable trees, you name it. So he had just finished cleaning our yard. He was accustomed to doing this every week. Now, when the dictatorship fell, there were curfews, if you will. So he just finished cleaning our yard. We paid him. There was a boutique that sold food, bread, whatever you needed, a couple of houses down. He goes and gets himself some bread. As he's eating, and now from a distance, we're watching from our porch. Just looking at the streets because the streets were empty. We see him jump behind a bush. We don't know why until the truck pulls up. Truck pulls up, 5 soldiers come out, machine gun in hand. They drag him out from behind the bush. You see him on his knees with a piece of bread. Now, we can't hear what he's saying, but we know he's begging for his life. He's pleading, you can just see him pleading. All 5 soldiers emptied their fucking clip into this dude. A guy I had known for like...
It's rough.
I was there for like 8 or 9 months at this point. After that happened, it was nothing to see baby, because, they burn trash over there. So it was nothing to see dead babies, not just a dead babies in the trash. It was nothing to see people get gunned down. It was nothing to hear, whether it be the thieves and the gangs that are running the streets now, or the cops and the soldiers running into people's houses doing fucked up shit.
Well, and they've been corrupt over there for a while. Now, Al, let me ask you this, though, because you seem to know a little bit more about it over there than I do. I'm a little privy to the politics as of recently, but not on a first look basis. So I got to ask, it seemed like things started cleaning up over there under Moise, who was right before Henri. It seemed like he did a lot of good for the country, and that's why he eventually got elected. It seemed like he had a lot of programs going on. He brought water to a lot of undeveloped areas. There was a lot of projects that he had going on, and he was one of the first few that had been elected in a long time. Now, obviously, he got assassinated, and there was a lot of confusion over there at that time from what I read. They put a judge on top of it, and the judge actually accused his ex-wife and his first, his right-hand man of conspiring against him. So aside from that, hadn't it cleaned up in the last couple of years? Or do you know anything about that?
To my knowledge, not really. I just know that they tried to make it seem as if he was elected. But again, he was placed there.
Now, was that Moise or Henri? Because I know Henri was placed in there by the Western forces and
ever
us.
Since the dictatorship fell, the United States has had their hand in who
absolutely
is running the country.
Well, that makes sense.
So
they haven't had a free and fair election from the Haitian people in years and years and years.
Not in my personal opinion, no.
Okay.
And no politician that has ever served Haiti has done it loyally. You know what I'm saying? It's always been about money.
And that's another thing that I'd read. All of these guys end up abusing their power because they have already these links to these armed militias and things of that nature. So when they come into power, they use them to assert their power. And obviously with that power comes corruption, and they're going to use it for their own devices. But yeah, that's the problem. They're linked to all these armed militias and gangs, really.
And those militias,
when they get into power,
were armed by the United States.
I have no doubt.
Exactly what they're doing. I have video of
the United States or the bankers, like Rothschild, Rockefeller, Bilderberg, etc., etc. Like, is it really the United States?
Essentially, those names you mentioned, Rick, are the United States. We would like to believe that we are the United States, but we're not. What power do we owe?
Fuck no, we're slaves.
It's higher than that. Because if you look at England isn't the problem either. And if you look at the Queen isn't the problem either. The Queen is the subject of Baker Street.
Oh, it's NATO, United Nations. We all... fuck, I better be careful. Listen, we all know that this is already under one global world order. And it's that banking system, the Fed, et cetera, but it's not us. We're just fucking slaves.
Oh, certainly not us.
But it's not just the United States governmental entities. It's also the UK, most of Europe, besides Germany and Russia.
France.
There's a lot more to it.
Oh yeah, France, Germany, all the G7, really.
The G7, exactly. You nailed it. I think it's more about that. The Haiti thing, though, to me is shut the fuck out, because they're painting this picture as to be like an up. I don't know if I buy it, y'all. For real. All the way up to this motherfucker's name is barbecue.
It does seem like the fucking. It does seem like play. It's kind of like barbecue.
You know how they. We always talk about this. How they'll smoke screen us something right here, so we're not paying attention to this. I think this Haiti, just like last time. The last time we went through this whole thing with the fucking orphans in Haiti, what was actually happening? Fucking human trafficking. They were taking the fucking babies from Haiti. You know what I mean? Like the entire whole fucking.
Oh yeah, painted as a earthquake relief, for sure.
Earthquake relief,
concerts, and the whole nine. Yeah.
So but
they were stealing babies.
I don't know if I buy this set, y'all. I think this might be, especially as strong as it's being put on the MSM. I think it's another one of those. They want to, program us. I don't know.
Let me put it to you like this.
I can tell you right now. I got people over here.
What do they say? That's what I want to know. What do they say? Like we talked to our Hawaii people, they're the Hawaii shit. What do your people over there say? That's what I'm waiting to ask.
Exactly what you're seeing, buddy. Barbecue is the name barbecue is a play on humor. For the simple fact that he likes to barbecue humans and eat them. That's what they do.
Yeah, he's a cannibal. The whole cult that's taken of the capital is cannibalistic. Yes.
If you see what he's rocking a Mason necklace and a Mason ring.
You see?
Look at the weapons. Look at the weapons that he's rocking, along with the people that he has in his gang. I saw a clip where they're trying to paint this motherfucker like Haiti's Nipsey Hussle or Tupac. Last I checked, Nipsey Hussle and Tupac didn't eat people.
Well, he is an ex-police chief. Like looking into it, he is an ex-police chief or captain, one of the two. But he was high-ranking in the police unit over there.
To be one of those in Haiti.
Yeah, no, I know that doesn't say a lot.
If you're connected, you have rank. If you have money, you have rank. Most of those guys, like, there were groups that would literally, up until, if the four of us went to go visit Haiti, if we got off the plane and appeared to have money, there'd be a group of folks that would follow us to where we're going. Later on that night, a group of them, armed, will bum rush wherever you're at, rape every woman in the room, no matter how old she is.
Not me.
Let me reiterate, no matter how old she is. Okay? And then they will line all of you up and blast all of you. All right? Cops.
So the travel ban's starting to make sense.
Yeah. Cops and soldiers were involved in some of these robberies and rapes.
Listen, when they talked about how they got to Moyes, when they got to the ex-president, they were talking about exactly what happened. They got that motherfucker easy peasy lemon squeezy. They had no problem. They said that the chief that was there on site was paid like $8,000 to tell his guys to stand down. A bunch of them had time to jump into the ravine behind the house to get away from it all, and the other ones were unharmed. They didn't hit anybody else in the house except for, I think, his ex-wife got critically injured. But they came straight in. Everybody was paid off. The police, the fucking military, everybody let them in to get this dude. So yeah, it's corrupt as fuck over there.
You see how easy it is to turn a brother against another brother because they're struggling? You see how easy it's done here?
So that's the thing. They say, money is the root of all evil. It's not evil itself, but it'll start that shit real quick.
Let me tell you, man, like living in Haiti, I've spent some of my best times there, and I've seen some of the worst things there. Haiti, to me, should be a tropical paradise, a vacation paradise for folks to visit.
It probably would be if it wasn't for us, to be fair.
Yeah. If you see how the Bahamas and Jamaica's rock, with people going to vacation there, that's fine and nice and dandy or what have you. But I can tell you right now, with me I'm not even being biased. The food is better in Haiti. The beaches are more beautiful. I've been to all three places, Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas, and I can tell you right now, the beaches are more beautiful. The food tastes better. The women are outstanding, and it's like nothing to like go by the river or to a beach and see people just swimming butt naked. They're just free.
That's that shit. That's what I'm talking about.
It's just to be, outside of what you're seeing now, it's sad that that's what they're showing, but it's a beautiful country. and the people
Well,
deserve
I
way
think that's
better than
first
what
and
they're getting.
foremost. Like, before you go enjoy it, you got to realize that they eating people. Like, we got to get that to stop real quick. That shit's crazy.
And then
But yeah, again, back to the root cause of it. I mean, you're right. And it all started when we went over there and started raping the country for its resources. We haven't left them alone since. They just stopped talking about it.
like France and the United States owes Haiti a ton. You know, and again, what I was saying earlier, as far as the dictatorship is concerned, I saw, again, I was 6, 7 years old. I saw a thriving country. I saw a country lit up. I saw people. Yes, I saw poverty as well. But once the dictatorship fell, I really saw the ugliness of the country.
Yeah, sometimes it holds the shit together. You know what direction it's going, at least. I'm not advocating for every dictatorship, but sometimes it's useful to.
I don't want that to be,
Yeah, disclaimer, but no, yeah, you're right. When there's no direction, and I hate to say it, but it's been brought up before. Like, if you look at the first Avengers, people as a general rule, there's not a lot of people that want that leadership mantle. It takes a strong kind of person to want leadership and to want to lead. Most people are completely happy and fine being led to a direction, because in all honesty, most of us don't know what direction to go.
Yeah, you
So
want
I'll
to be
be
told what
honest
to
with
do.
you. Most people are looking for and looking to leadership. So yeah, if somebody's going to assume that, but it's so hard to find somebody that will assume that role, and then just to assume it well is damn near impossible.
And I mean, what's his name? Wycliffe at some point tried and stole money.
That's a
from
good dude right there.
those
Right.
people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's just a Haitian political thing where they're like, yeah, let me just get in there and take all this money. You know, Haiti comes off as, Haiti seems forward to the world, but man, let me tell you, man, money runs through there. Money.
Listen, I think it's a lot like, you guys ever seen the movie Death to Smoochie?
Of course.
A long time ago.
With Edward Norton. I feel like politics, and especially politics in other places, is a lot like that. People get into it with the best intentions. They really do. But then once you step into that world, you realize how dirty and disgusting and how twisted it is. No matter how innocent it may seem on that surface level, you have to play this game in order to stay. Otherwise, you're out so fast. And so many people learn that. I feel like that happens to our presidents. Our presidents go in hoping to change. Not all of them. I think a lot of them are fucking plants at this point. But I feel like originally that was the plan. They stepped into office to try to help. And as soon as they get in office, they have all these dudes in their ear talking about, you can't do this, you can't do this, you'll be shot if you do this, we'll take you the fuck out if you do this. And suddenly they can't do anything that they had attempted to do.
Like, I'll tell you right now.
One way or the other.
Like, for me, there is no such thing as a good politician. No such thing.
No, there
They got
can't
dirt
be.
on you, or they're in your
It's
pocket,
by design.
period.
By design, there cannot be, and that's unfortunate. Just as long as they're willing to let lobbyists and special interests affect politics, there cannot be. I mean, honestly, I've wanted to get into politics for a long time. I'm kind of a speaker. I like that kind of shit. Talking to people, convincing people, debating. I like that shit. But there's no money in politics unless you're on the take. And that's why so many good people turn away from it. It's like, I would love to get in there and make a change. A, you're not going to make a change. B, you're not going to become anything unless they let you be. And the people that are being let be are the ones that are on the take. That's self-reinforcing. It's bullshit.
No, not just on the take. This whole Epstein thing is brought to light very, very clear. Like I say, every politician that makes it to any scale that you'd see their fucking name on TV, they're either A, they own them, so they're a puppet, or B, they have dirt on them, so they're a puppet. Period. Like, you don't get to this level until you're just a cog in the wheel. At this point, 100 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel bad for the people in Haiti. Like, I feel bad for the people in Haiti that aren't anything other than a victim, and it's like that worldwide. And that's the only point that I was getting at earlier is this is just another example. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's just narrowed down to that. And you're absolutely correct. Like, there's certain communities you can't fuck with because of the backing that they have. And, in this, Haiti is one of those, Haiti is considered a lot of those, like, Why do you think Haiti's not part of NATO or even considered a sovereign of the states? You know what I mean? There's a reason behind it.
And why
We-
wouldn't the first black independent nation be successful? You know what I mean?
That's because that's like you just said it. You said it yourself, Al. People think there's not money there, but there's really money flowing through there, right? That's because that's what I was getting at earlier. It's a picture that is painted to create like the programming that is our simulation. All right. So I don't
let
talk about
folks
this.
know the United States dropped special forces in Haiti to rob their banks of their gold,
Right. Twice.
treasures. Okay. Now, before the U.S. did it, let's not forget France was fucking Haiti for a long time, a very long time. France did it as well. And again, some of the jewelry the Queen of England was rocking came from Haiti.
I'm going to go specifically on me saying that this is not something I read in a fucking Encyclopedia Britannica, but more of what I feel like I remember. Okay. Wasn't the scenario that, so Haiti is connected to another island, right? Or not connected to another island, but the other half of the island is what? What nation?
Dominican Republic.
Okay. And isn't it said that, isn't this a place where a bunch of slaves on European ships got away to and ended up inhabiting? Isn't that something along those lines? So you have these like Spaniards on one side of the island, and you have Africans on the other side of the island, and then you have the Aborigines or the Indians, if you will, that inhabited the island previous to the ships showing up, right? And isn't that the two real races that are on that island? Isn't it really truly just slaves that got away?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to dive into that. Because again, a lot of the things that they taught us. Oh, you're checking it out, good. Because a lot of the things they taught us were lies.
Sean will have it's a 77,000-page essay tomorrow.
Gotcha.
But what I think is the most important thing here is that we pay attention to how much national mainstream media attention that it's getting in general. I mean, we're looking at basically, like, they don't let us see that here. You guys don't realize that, or maybe you do, but a lot of people don't realize they don't let us see when they're successful. Like, yeah, they may let us see it on a fucking prison show where we see like, the prisoners, riot, quote unquote, and take over the place. But like, they usually don't let us see this type of shit. So that's what really scares me underlying. I feel that's why I asked, like, is this what's happening? Because I feel like this is one of those things where they're going to use this to make us get in a certain way of thinking, a certain way of activity, Well,
I can tell you right now, while this violence is going on, the United States is getting exactly what they want from the country while everyone's focused on the violence. So they're robbed and the country's blind while everybody else is focused on the violence. So, yeah, there that is. I just hope that, the violence stops. I know it never will. I put it this way, after my third time, every time I went to Haiti, because of some political bullshit, I got stuck there for over a year. All 3 times. So after I haven't been to Haiti since 1991.
Will you ever the fuck go back?
Nah.
Not right now. So,
No.
real quick for you guys, the island was originally inhabited by the Taino and Arawakan people. Christopher Columbus found it, claimed it for the Spanish crown, named it La Isla Española, and it became a major part of the Atlantic slave trade, encompassing a third of the entire Atlantic slave trade. So it's not necessarily that slaves had ran away and escaped to there. There was many, many slaves there. In 1791, slaves staged a revolt, which led to the Haitian Revolution. André Rigaud, I hope I said that right, leader of the revolution, forced the French to withdraw. When Toussaint Louverture declared independence in 1802, Napoleon sent an invasion force to get it back. At one point, Napoleon gave it up, and they claimed their independence from the French crown. So it is one of the, going back here, it says that it is became the only nation in world history that was born out of a successful slave revolt.
That's what I was getting at. Like, it came from that. Like, they stayed there. They were like, fuck you. You can keep going. You're not putting me back in the boat. It was like one of those kind of things.
Yeah, they said, fuck you guys. Get the fuck out of here. And they fought for it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You know, in most other places like Rome, it's highly, you know, the whole, you know, you've got Spartacus and shit. And over here, it was the American Revolution. They don't teach that shit here.
And food for thought. The French had a humongous army. Haiti did not.
No, not compared to the French Navy. No.
So, you know, just so y'all know, voodoo had a lot to do with that.
Now, I will say Napoleon, and it was Napoleon. It wasn't just any French Navy. It was Napoleon. However, he was scattered on several fronts, but at the same time, Napoleon's army was Napoleon's army.
He was scattered in Haitian dicks, y'all.
What?
Sorry. You know, and that's
Napoleon about Haitian people.
Yeah. You was scared. Napoleon got mad as fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, man. You better move on.
You better move on. Next, please. Next subject.
Well, I thought.
Now, he said it. Let him marinate on this one for a little bit.
No, you know, and let this sink in, too. The United States had billions to send to the Ukraine. The United States has invested
lots of billions.
Billions.
Lots of them.
These migrants who are attacking American citizens, cops, security guards, people, they're giving them billions. But what are they doing for Haiti?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's like, dude, look at what they're doing. Anybody outside the world where they want to inhabit, take over, and even though we're not imperialist, whatever, they have all kinds of money for. But when we talk about improving the life for our homeless here on the streets and making sure that every American citizen has a home, they ain't got no money. Like, they're broke as fuck when it comes to that, when it comes to helping our citizens. But when it comes to helping another country fight a war that they need fought, they've got all kinds of money, billions, multiple billions.
Well, moving on to lighter things. Shogun on FX.
The time has come for us to turn towards Toranaga as an ally.
Tuesday.
己の敵の正体が分かっておらぬのじゃ。女は女の苦しみを見過ごせぬもの。
生贄となった者たちの命、死を無駄にはせぬぞ。FX's Shogun.
This show rocks.
Let it Disney.
This show rocks.
Now, I just, I had mentioned Monarch, the Legacy of Monsters. One of the stars of Shogun, well, two of the stars of Shogun are Monarch, and one of them is my crush, Anna. I won't try to pronounce her last name.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, but on the show, she is Mariko, the Asian hottie.
Asian. Very.
It's her attitude, though. Obviously, she's pretty, but it's just her attitude. Like, she's
very pretty, but yeah, her character is
personality is like right like that. And like, oh, let me not get far.
She dope.
You correct. Keep going. I got something to say.
She's dope, man.
She's dope.
I just can't remember. I can't remember her in the Fast and the Furious series because it says that she's in two of them, and I've seen all the Fast and the Furious, but I can't remember her.
Well, Tokyo Drift obviously might have a bearing on that, and then the first one.
Not
racist.
She wasn't on that. You racist.
Racist.
Not in that one.
Come on, you're talking about film companies.
Dog,
and
she was
video
an
production
F9.
companies.
Okay, listen.
Christopher Lambert played Raiden. Like, I don't want to hear it. It does not matter their persuasion. They will cast him.
Where are you
anything.
going with this? Yeah, okay. Christopher
Well, but
Lambert.
if you recall, in the streets during those first couple of Fast and Furious, they did a lot of street stuff, and they always got together in big giant groups. And there was a couple of dudes that had a bunch of little Asian hotties with them, also in Tokyo Drift.
Well,
Okay, yeah, a bunch of white boys aren't going to realize it. Come on.
They only have her in Fast 5, Fast 10, and Fast 9.
Letty, Mia.
Those are the only
No
three.
Tokyo Drift.
No Tokyo Drift. So she was not in the one in Japan.
I am
because
the
she's Japanese.
Asshole. Ding, ding.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Well, we're only gonna we'll keep it to the first 2 episodes. 'Cause
Fair.
that's where I want. So, Marcus, what are your thoughts on the Asians?
The Asian.
I mean, it's all right, man. I don't know. I maybe I have to like let it.
I'm starting to think you're racist like Rick right now.
Wow.
Hey, man, maybe.
He's in for a
I'm not but I mean, maybe I gotta continue watching it. But like so far, I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm
Okay.
just like,
Let me ask you this: is it because you have to read the Japanese? Is that taken away from the show?
no,
Oh, that's
no,
too
because
late.
I enjoyed All of Us Are Dead and Squid Game, So there's been shows where the subtitles that doesn't bother.
Well, hold up. You didn't watch all of this then in English?
I might have watched this. I might have watched the subtitles. I don't even know.
All right.
I didn't even know how to do it. I don't even know.
Public service announcement. Any show on Netflix, well, most of them, there's a thing on the side where you can switch it to English.
Okay,
All of
And
Us
it
Are
makes
Dead,
watching so much easier.
that's
Yeah.
true. I did watch this in English though. I did watch this.
When it gets to the end of the shows and the credits and you see all these credits of the different actors with the different languages, those are literally the voice actors for them. Like all of the shows have it. It's pretty dope.
Mhm. And they're all the same. They're all the same person. You
But, like,
recognize the voice.
I'm a huge fan of a boy that played Scorpion in the new
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat. He's
Yeah.
dope. I mean,
Yeah, he's badass.
there's been a few scenes that I'm like, damn, that's pretty creative. It's pretty dope, Like story wise, like I guess it's building, but I don't know. I'll have more to say about it going forward.
When you
At
get
the
to
moment,
the
I'm
end
just
of the
kinda
last
like-
cliffhanger,
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, it's all right.
I mean, the 5th episode is coming out tomorrow.
Now, my roommate said the same thing, but that's because he didn't want to read the subtitles. Like, I asked him, I was like, so, hey,
Oh.
man. And he's like, what is it about? And I kind of told him, I was like, it's historically accurate. And he's like, ugh. And I was like, he's like, is it subtitled? And I was like, yeah, because I knew where he was going with that. And he's like, nope. Checked right
not
out. Like, yeah, I think he started watching it. He started watching the subtitles. And well, he's kind of like one of those one-track kind of guys. Like, he's like, I cannot read and watch. Like, it's got to be one or the other, bro. You got to choose.
Sure.
well,
Yeah, he doesn't.
thankfully
I will
show-
add
won't do
though. I want to add though. Old girl is hot though. I will say that. I will co-sign that. Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
smoking.
She's
Now-
yeah.
I will say
Chef's
this
kiss.
about our boy that plays Scorpion.
Oh,
Sonata.
I hope that he had something to do with the Highlander reboot as far as swordplay is concerned.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Because when it comes
Fair.
to swordplay, for Mortal Kombat, and I forget what, it might have been Rush Hour. He actually had to slow down because he is so fucking fast, it's ridiculous. That one, the
Haruyuki
camera-
Sanada is a very acclaimed actor in Japan. Like,
Oh, yes.
he definitely brings a lot of legacy to any role that he performs. And when they put him into Mortal Kombat, that was one of the biggest kickers for that movie, was the fact that Hiroyuki Sanada was going to be in that movie. They were like, what?
And my beef with that movie is you're going to have Sub-Zero all up in this motherfucking movie, and you're only going to allow me to see Scorpion twice? Motherfucker.
It's still his
He
origin story.
costs way more, I'm sure.
No,
it's kind of accurate to the game though.
Just
the
let me-
game was
just-
kind of like that.
That's
Just
true.
let me-
That's
That's
true.
my
You see
thought.
Scorpion. Everybody used Sub-Zero to cheeseball somebody, freeze them, sweep, freeze them, sweep, freeze them, sweep. You see a lot of Sub-Zero. It
Hell
took
yeah.
a good player to be good at Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion was always the one though. He was always a badass.
And
Yeah.
the guy,
No, I'll
True.
whoop that ass with Scorpion.
so Anna is in Mod Art Legacy of Monsters, and the guy, what's his name, Ishido?
Ishido, yeah, the guy that plays Lord Ishido. I'm trying to look up his name right. His name is Takahiro Hira. He's great.
Yes.
He's been in a bunch of stuff too.
Yes. He's also recently in Monarch, The Legacy of Monsters. He plays Anna's dad on that show. Phenomenal. And again, Kurt and his son, is it Wyatt?
Yeah, Wyatt.
Phenomenal.
A U.S. agent.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. agent. Yeah.
Oh, is he a U.S. agent?
Mm-hmm.
No shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch Falcon.
So
what about
Marcus,
you,
just
Rip?
like,
well, first I was just gonna ask Marcus, like,
well,
I see you made it through this first couple of episodes. Where would you rate it on the blood scale? You know, just based on what you've seen so far.
First
that's a
2
great
episodes
question.
rating.
First 2 episode rating. I'll be fair. I'll go 3.5, 4.
That's good. And
Is
here's
that
why I
or
bring
is
it
that
up.
kind?
Here's why I bring it
No,
up.
because I'm interested in it going forward. So like, if it was like, Twisted Metal.
Turn your loins. Curtains up in 10 minutes.
You know what? Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful.
Don't
be
Oh, just stop.
Now, let me just say, number one, game of what? Because this show is everything that Game of Thrones should have been, and I pray that going forward, it continues its writing path, and I have a strong feeling, based on who is kind of behind the scenes with it, it's going to stay true. It's going to stay true. So speaking of staying true, not only have I watched all first 4 episodes, probably at least 3 or 4 times each, I've watched all the behind the scenes stuff. I've dug pretty deep into some of the lore of the original Shogun stuff. Call me hooked. I was crying by the middle of the 2nd episode. And what I mean by that is there's a reveal scene. All right. So spoiler alert.
Yes. Yes.
There's a reveal scene and we're talking about the chick, and we haven't really brought up Pilot very much, but there is the token white boy in the show.
The
and I'll get
colonizer.
into my Sonata here in a minute. We're kind of at this point in time, we're kind of we're really getting painted, and I say European, I'm fucking Irish. The Europeans are getting painted as being real big scumbags, of course. Okay. But here comes along this one barbarian, right? As they were dubbed, a barbarian who actually was like shooting from the hip about some real world shit. And he sits down, draws the map. I'm trying not to give too much away, but I'm still giving some away. He draws the map, and she
That's the
kind
first 2 episodes. If folks haven't watched it by now, I mean,
So this is, like I said, it's about halfway into the
like,
second
Frick, you
episode.
bastard.
When at this point, the Japanese have only, from a white sense, from the European sense, have only been influenced by these priests. Okay. And they have a very clear, right? Like for years and years and years, we fucking denied it. And now we're just not. It's clear that the Catholic Church is just a fucking piece of shit. Right. And that's what this show is doing a really good job of. And I'm
well,
gonna
it's
get
an
into
imperialistic force is what it is.
Right.
It's not a country, but it's an imperialistic force.
It's very clear. It's very clear to Sonata's character that this guy has actually got some info on these motherfuckers. And then when you have the reveal moment when she realizes it, because she has just spent 17 years going, oh my God, this is what my heart has been missing. Like, how many people do you know that religion has done that to, where they get them caught up into synergy? And now that they're caught with that feeling that they got in their gut, right? Oh, this feels so good. Now I got to believe everything the church tells me, right? So that reveal moment right there, bro, I was in tears. Okay. Now, moving forward, all the way up to the cliffhanger going into tomorrow's show, this show has embodied everything that Game of Thrones shown us was possible, talking about the past. Here's the best. 1600s. Sonata himself, if you go in the behind the scenes stuff and you really watch it, has gone through, besides when he's not on the camera, he's back there behind it, right? He is the prime consultant on the show. Everything, right, Sean? Everything from every word used Everything you see in the backdrop, every house, every shoe, everything is 100% authentic.
So
Japanese at that.
So
year.
Rick said before, I'm a huge history buff. I study a lot. I read a lot. I go into that shit pretty heavy. The moment that it came on screen where they had the samurai in their outfits, like going onto the ship to go scout it out, true to fucking heart. Everything, period play, accurate. Like, it's super, super accurate. The costuming, the set design, everything is fantastically done. It's super, super accurate. And furthermore, it's actually really cool. And Rick started mentioning it. This all happened. This is actually a true story that happened back in the 1600s. It's about the first Westerners that were made samurai. Like, that was
writing
the story.
on the wall shit. And they've all come out to say
it was originally a novel by James Clavell. And it was actually done as a movie the first time, I think, in 1980. Or a miniseries. It was a miniseries primarily.
I think they filmed it like
telling me that when she was watching it with me.
Yeah, the original Shogun, and I'll to end my point on it all. Very, very specifically, I will say this: there is a level of authenticity that you cannot deny if you give yourself the true watch of it. And yes, you do have to use some subtitles for some of the Japanese stuff, but they flip to what they call Portuguese, but it's actually English to us, right?
Which kills me. That makes me laugh every time.
It's hilarious.
Well,
right? They're called.
It's because it's closer to us, and it's closer, like, as white men, quote unquote, we're going to understand the white man. So they give us their speech, and they're like, this Japanese is foreign to you, though. You're going to need to.
My point to that, though, is this. You guys know how much I hate subtitles. I do. Not only do I watch, you do. I watch the subtitles, and I have the closed caption on, because even when it's like, if the baby and Dice are sleeping and I'm watching the show, because I've been watching it over and over and over, like literally watching it over and over and over, right? I don't want to miss words. I have a feeling we're going to see 6 or 7 seasons of this. And at this point, especially with where they're going, 5 motherfucking blunts, I don't think it gets any higher than that.
Oh, as far as rating goes, I'm going to go with him. Yeah. No, I would definitely say 5 blunts for this show. And it's one of the few that I can honestly wholeheartedly say that about going forward.
Stop what you're doing and watch it. Like watch it all the way through. Don't be tired. Don't have distractions. Put your fucking phone away and fucking watch the shit.
It is worth a watch.
To back that up, I mean, and do so with an open mind. Come at it from the angle of, like, these are 2 worlds meeting for the first time. That's what I think is so beautiful about this. And not necessarily those worlds meeting for the first time. They've collided before, when the Portuguese and the Catholics came over and basically tried to colonize them. So they have a real bad taste in their mouth. So of course, when they see this similar looking dude, they're going to feel similarly. But once they start talking to him and getting into that dialogue with him, they find out that not everything's as it seems. And you can't judge a book by its cover.
And she's falling for him. Like, this is going to be a love story. You can already tell where it's going.
I knew that off rip. I was like, yeah, he's going to end up banging her.
And you see how but the whole point of her, like, not liking that type of personality, and she's like you look at, I'm going to word it exactly as it is. She is like one of the original devout Christians in a Japanese fucking, and we haven't even talked about.
I disagree. She knows she knows the religion, but I feel like she's got that. She's got that bit of rebellion. Is it like every time they talk to her about it, they're like, "Oh, have you been doing your lesson?" She's like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever." No, she's not happy about that.
17 years though, she was a devout Christian, becoming a Catholic, learning it all. Like, the church was everything to her in a lot of ways. The way that most Christian girls in America were growing up.
But here's the thing. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. She knows it and she's done the study, but I think, and it leads a lot into her character. It leads a lot into where she goes with her character. She's done the studies. She knows what is said and the words, but I don't think it ever sank in. And you can see that in her character. She's like, you know what? Yeah, I did my lessons today, priest, blah, blah, blah. But the second she sees that there's something other than that, she latches onto it.
Sure, and you know what
so
it
I
is?
think she's always been rebellious.
I think it's what draws me to her character in a lot of ways. Like, I jokingly said it, y'all were all like, "Oh, she's pretty," but I think more of it for me about her that makes her appealing is like exactly that. Like she has a legitimate seek for truth. She doesn't want to be someone who's dictated. Yes, but she's also the one. She's like, listen, don't speak out, turn right now. They'll fuck you up. Or you know what I mean? Like
she's traditionalist, and she's also part of the royal family. She's got a heritage and a hit.
She has all of that
she's
going.
Part of that.
And the way that like she honors her husband, the way that she explains to him like what sex means to them. Like there's so many. There's an onion to this show that just has all of these layers. That like, listen, if people, this is a PSA like you used earlier. This is not for you three. Fucking watch this show. Like if you watch it with an open mind, oh man.
So one thing I want to mention that I don't think. Go ahead.
The terms barbarian and savage. You see, they call him barbarian, and he calls them savage. They toss that word around a lot.
A lot.
Well, that's just because they don't know each other's culture. It's fantastic that as they accept it, they use that word less and less and less. Like as they start to understand, when he starts getting the terminology and the thought process behind who they are, he stops calling them that a lot as it moves on. It's pretty cool. Another thing I want to mention that I don't think is going to get mentioned otherwise is how fantastic that other captain is, the Portuguese captain that he meets, the guy that's like, hey, I'm saving you, the crazy one. That guy's fucking great, dude. That Blackthorn says to him, he's like, what does Toranaga want with me? He's like, I don't know how to play with your balls. How should I know? Listen, you're on the ship, shut the fuck up. But then he's like, okay, so you're my friend. And he's like, I'm not your friend. Make no mistake, I am not your friend.
No,
they have an amazing relationship. Their relationship is fucking awesome. It's one of the best parts of the show.
No. Okay. He's Portuguese. He's Portuguese.
He's a Portuguese captain, yeah. He's a Portuguese pilot, yeah.
Okay. I thought he said he was Spaniard.
No,
well, they call him Spaniard, but that's because the Spanish and the Portuguese were so closely linked at the time.
He's probably
and that's another part of the show. Like, he gets them on their side because of the way that the Catholic Church was so imperialistic at the time. He tells him, he's like, listen, bro, due to the line of demarcation, which was an actual thing, this is actual documentation, the Catholic Church split the world between Spain and Portugal. They did that. And they said basically anything that we discover in this world belongs to Spain or Portugal. So when you tell the Japanese that their whole island, their traditional home belongs to Portugal, somebody's going to get pissed.
By those priests. Those priests represent the people that feel like they own you. Like what this shit is going to go to, bro, I'm just like, it gives me fucking goosebumps, a hard dick, the whole nine. Like how can you...
No, this is what leads to the Japanese taking back their island. This is the start of them taking back their island through the use of their traditional ways and employing Western samurai.
Now, I will say this, I would not have been able to take any of those dudes serious with those fucking hairdos.
They're shaved in the top.
But you could take somebody with fucking Allen Iverson cornrows serious. Come on, or like one of those crazy a white boy with fucking dreadlocks. Like you could take those guys serious. Like you could take a white boy with dreadlocks serious.
Oh,
what's cool about that haircut is that that's actually period accurate too. The helmets that they used to use and the way that they did their hair, the Kronmage, the way they flipped their hair up when they put their helmet on, their hair was like that so that it would hold the helmet in place on their head. And they actually shaved that top part of their head because when they fought, the top part of their head got super, super hot. So they shaved the top part of their head so they wouldn't get as hot and it would aerate and it would like let the air in so they would cool down in battle.
Well, like the Catholic dudes too, that they just shaved the whole center out.
Yeah,
like
that dude is ridiculous.
What the fuck? It's like,
dude is ridiculous.
Like he looks
stupid.
Friar Tuck shit. Like I was like, is this fucking Robin Hood? Is he from the Sherwood Forest? Like what the fuck here, bro?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And that's kind of my problem with that whole like theology, like that part of theology. It's like, okay, so because I believe in something, I got to shave my hair to look all stupid. That means I'm part of the club. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Why?
Yeah, so far, it's a great show. I recommend watching it. Next episode, we'll be discussing episodes, 3, 5, I believe, should be out.
Yeah, 5's coming out tomorrow night.
I'll tell you all, man. The cliffhanger for number 4 when it ends. I don't know if I've said this on air. Will be the teaser. When I started watching the show the first time, I saw season 1, episode 5 was like kind of at the bottom of the screen, so I thought there was 5 episodes. So when I started watching it and I got to the end of 4 and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then they were like, oh, Tuesday next week. I'm like, what? Yo, that was one of the most disappointing things on the entire planet to me.
I'm just going to say the end of episode 4 got weird. It got dark.
No, he's serving his purpose. Let's go.
Yep. So certainly
No,
check
I mean,
that
I
out
get it,
on
but we'll
Hulu.
see where this goes. It's going to be an interesting ride.
So certainly check it out. It's on Hulu. I believe Disney Plus as well. I'm not sure, but it's certainly on Hulu. So definitely give it a try.
Definitely.
Oh, Al, did you give a rating?
I give it 5 as well. It's 5 for me. It's 5 for me
Straight
as well.
5s. First time.
Man, yeah.
And how about the sand?
Actually, Marcus, I don't mean to take away from
the title art. He said like 3.5, right? You said, right? 3.5, 4. And you said, right? You said, Marcus.
Yeah, he didn't 5 it. He said he's
Not yet.
anticipating the other episodes.
That's because he has to watch.
It's fluid.
But the title art, y'all, real quick.
Yeah,
before
that's
we-
true. That's
It
fair.
can change.
The title
Yeah.
art is the same as that
thoughts
they
and
have in their
prayers.
gardens. So sexy.
Yep. Our thoughts and prayers are with Haiti.
Well,
If you guys are looking for any artwork, please hit my nephew Nate up. His info is in our bio. Also, if you're looking to purchase a timeshare, please hit our boy Sean up. His info is also in our bio.
yes.
Also, if you're an excellent salesperson in the Florida area, let me know. If you want to work on the beach and you're a great salesperson, I got you. Hit me up.
Yes. And if you like our intro and outro track, check it out. It's by an artist named Nish. The name of the song is called Trap Sex.
Yes, sir.
And be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share,
Yes, absolutely.
repost,
And check out our merch.
all of it.
Talk
Check
shit.
out our
all of
merch.
it.
Come to
Absolutely.
the comments and talk shit. We'll be happy to fucking shoot it with you all day long.
You
Facts.
know it. So that's all
Friendly,
the time we have,
mostly.
folks. So signing off, Al, Marcus, Rick, and Sean. Peace.
Later.